Big shout out to the Ape Army out there, and also big shout out to our vets and anybody that has served this country. I do love every single one of you guys, and thank you for your service. Even though some people don't like to hear that, I am going to tell you we are very much grateful. Now, we are talking AMC. We are going to go over the Ortex short interest data and what has been going on, especially on Friday, because this will give us an insight into what to expect going into the future, as well as a huge catalyst, guys. I cannot stress this enough. This could be the driving factor to start the short squeeze and send this home. So we're going to go over this and much more in this video, including technical analysis. But the only thing that I ask is that you tap, tickle, touch, or smash the like button, make it turn blue, help this video get pushed out to as many people as possible so we can recruit more apes for the cause. That is the ultimate goal here. We have to crush the hedge funds and the institutions that are betting against AMC and ultimately close this generational wealth gap a little bit more and do our part there. So I do greatly appreciate you guys that went ahead and did that. Now let's take a look. We're on Ortex and we're going to take a look at Friday, and the short interest change was 2.24%. So 2.24% more shorts bought into their positions. Return shares was at 4.52 million. So some shorts did cover their position, but this is so small relative to the number of shares that are out there that are sold short. But we did have 7.49 million borrowed shares on Friday. So that is 2.97 million more borrowed shares than shares that were actually returned. And this does come out to, what is this, 26.99% free float on the loan. So this is a huge number. This has actually been rising month over month, and every time they actually do report this data, it is going up significantly. Now, the utility rate is 99.5%. That essentially means out of all the shares outstanding, 99.5% of them are used and being held as of right now. So it's very hard to get your hands on actual shorts or shares to sell short, and you are paying a hefty premium for doing this. The shares on loan are 132.5 million. So that is the number of shares that are currently sold short with a 1.35 days to cover. Now, taking a look at the change over the past 7 days, we went from 128.2 million shares on loan to 132.5 million shares on loan. That is a change of 3.38%. So shorts are not covering their positions as of now. I would go as far as to say that very little shorts have covered their position, but like we shown, some shorts actually did on Friday, 4.52 million, but there was still more shares that were borrowed and sold short than were actually covered. So this ratio is still climbing, and we are already at an insanely high level of about 27% of the total float being sold short. Now, I would go as far as to estimate that about 50% of shares that are currently held are held by apes like you and me. So this is a huge number, and once they do start to cover, if they do start to cover, it might get to a point where it just crashes the whole financial system, right? In that case, we will make a ton of money, but I don't think they have covered their shorts whatsoever, and I don't even think they will cover their shorts. A lot of these institutions are going to end up defaulting and selling other stocks. So that's a video I'm going to be making, how AMC will crash the stock market if we do have a massive short squeeze. Now, as far as I was saying, it is not cheap to borrow shares against AMC. It is currently at 9.23% interest just to borrow against AMC. So people are expecting a big move here. So that is kind of what I'm expecting. I do think it's going to be to the upside, though. I do think we're headed to about $50, $100 in this next week. Especially Tuesday will be a pivotal moment to see what happens and what the momentum does look like. And that's when I will be looking to strike on a trade, especially if we are down 5 to 10% in the morning like we were on Thursday. That is a prime opportunity, but we will talk about that more once we get to the short, or not the short interest, but the technical analysis. Now, as far as the catalyst, I was saying Quiet Place 2 opening box office numbers prove movie theaters are back. This is setting a record for pandemic movie releases. Now, Quiet Place 2 has grossed an impressive 48 million between Friday and Sunday, exceeding expectations and bringing the record for the biggest opening weekend of the pandemic. Currently playing in 3,726 theaters. The film is expected to gross more than 58 million through Memorial Day on Monday. It's saying the budget is 61 million. Nobody cares about that. This is setting a record for pandemic box offices, proving people are going back to theaters. Like we all knew, date night and movie is not going anywhere. So this could be a driving catalyst to send these shares home come Tuesday. And now I do want to briefly talk about the synthetic shares, and I do think there is a ton of synthetic shares actually being traded out there. And if we just look up what the definition of synthetic shares are and how they are used, it says synthetic positions can allow traders to take a position without laying out the capital to actually buy or sell the asset. Synthetic products are custom designed investments that are typically created for large investors, and we do know there's a lot of large investors in AMC. And once you get a utilized rate of 99.5% mixed with all the option activity that we have seen, like take a look at this one option, June 18th, 224,000 in open interest. The market maker has to hedge these positions even if there is no shares to hedge. So that is essentially what is going on here. I do think there is synthetic shares that are being traded. You see this typically with stocks like GameStop, where there's more shares that are out there than are what is supposed to be out there. So I do think that is going on. But we also do have a tweet from Adam Aaron. He says, outrageous but true. Many AMC shareholders live outside the US, especially in UK and Europe. Brokerage firms refuse to facilitate shareholder voting, cost the firms time and money to do so. Any workarounds to the problem violate US law. Switch brokers so you can vote. And this vote is supposed to be done June 2nd, 2021. So we will have a better clarity as to what is going on right now. But I do want to take a look at the technical analysis and my predictions going into next week. I do think we will open somewhere in between $30 and $33. That looks to be a key level where we've seen a bit of consolidation before we started to fall off to the $26 level. I don't expect to go down tomorrow. I actually expect to open up about 10 to 15%, maybe even more given this catalyst we have talked about in this video. But the key level to watch is that $35 mark. If we can break 35, we are clear to go to about 40. That is our all-time high from back when AMC IPO'd. We only ever hit about $35 on AMC stock. So once we break that level, we are clear to fly here. And I do think brokerages and institutions that did lend out shares to be sold short to other hedge funds, institutions, or just big players in the field will request these shares back, because they do not want a GameStop type event or GameStop type move going from $4 to $350 happening in AMC stock, and the potential of institutions not being able to cover their burden and return those shares back. So I do think that is what is going on, but that is pretty much all for the technical analysis. We have already went over this before. The MACD is bearish ever since we started getting the sell-off, which is, I mean, gonna be expected once you do start to sell off a little bit. But we only closed down 1.51%, in after hours down 0.47%. So I do think if you were going to see a massive sell-off after a massive rally, we would have sold off. Or I should say, if you were going to see a massive sell-off, you would have seen a massive sell-off by now. But we did not see that as of Friday, and that's really where we would have seen a lot of paper handers coming out. And I do think a lot of apes out there are holding their positions. Now, I don't want to set an actual price target. I do think $1,000 is reasonable. A lot of people say 100K. That would put us at $33 trillion, and that is actually a very good thing, but bad thing if that happens. Because if that happens, we're going to have a total financial meltdown. The whole world's financial system is going to collapse. Most investors from other countries, they invest in the United States stock market. If the stock market, if AMC in particular goes to $33 trillion, last time I did the calculation was 33 trillion in market cap to get AMC to 100,000. I'm not saying it's impossible. It is improbable as far as how I see it. We would go into a Great Depression. This would be horrible. So I don't think regulators would let that actually happen, just to be realistic with you guys. But I'm going to make a video as well, how to trade this, where to set your positions, because I totally think $5,000 to $10,000 is possible if every single ape does hold their position. But that is not going to be the case, especially people that bought in really low, or they're not higher up in the ranks, right, per se. They're not going to hold their shares at extremely high prices, and I wouldn't blame them. Don't let a life-changing amount of money turn into a not life-changing amount of money, right? So that's kind of what I see as far as the technical analysis, the catalyst, the short interest data, everything you guys need to know about the AMC short squeeze. And I do think, like I said, just to reiterate, some shorts will start to cover their position, but not too many. I think the higher AMC does go, the more institutions that are long AMC, which I went over in a previous video. There's quite a few institutions that actually have been buying more shares and not selling AMC short. I do think some of them at really high prices will start to sell AMC short, and that is when and where it'll be crucial for you guys to hold your diamond hands, stay a part of the ape family, and don't go anywhere, guys. This is only just the beginning. I am strongly convinced of that. I've never seen social data the same way that I have seen AMC. Everybody, their mom, dad, brother, cousin, everybody's talking about this at family gatherings. They are talking about this, and you can best believe this is building up a lot of momentum going into next week. So that is why I'm probably going to stream this live. If you guys want to subscribe to the channel so you can be a part of that, I do think Tuesday will be a pivotal moment for AMC. Even if we do go down, I do expect that to be a positive buying opportunity, and that is what I'm going to be able to do. So if you want to watch me trade this live, then just hop on the live stream when we go live Tuesday morning. That will be a blast. So with that being said, help push this video out to more people. Hit that like button, as well as comment down below and subscribe to the channel. I also have my buy and sell alerts linked down below in the description for the Patreon. I also update you guys any news events that happen in the market as well. So if you're not as able to watch the markets on a minute-to-minute basis like I do, full-time option trader, crypto trader, then that might be something that would fit your needs. Perfect. So with that being said, there's also a link down below to get $70 in whatever free stock you want using public, and I do recommend you guys do that. If you do, let me know down below what you chose to get and how much you did receive. But with that being said, be cool out there, enjoy some alcoholic beverages, whatever you guys do to celebrate the holidays. Big shout out to the vets yet again, and until next video, I will see you guys later. Enjoy your weekend. Be back here tomorrow.